Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play Disco Elysium, where something rather amazing and unexpected happened last episode. We actually found a cryptid, the Insulindian phasmid, and it talked to us, sort of, or at least Harry imagined that it talked to him. So yeah, that's certainly not something I expected to find here. But we still have the issue of our suspect or killer over here that we need to get back to the mainland. And also I did get like another skill point, so let's see, where do we want to put this? How about more visual calculus? Okay, we did get some items as well, I believe. First of all, the helmet. Head as a battering ram, a fighter, not a lover. This monstrous-looking bug-eyed ceramic helmet was in the phasmid's nest. It still has some reeds sticking out of it, and it smells of seawater, but it's otherwise wearable, if not exactly comfortable. Putting it on feels scary somehow. I mean, I kinda gotta see how this looks like. Can I look at you from the front? I mean, it's kinda hard to see, but it's a helmet, I would say. Let's put back on my normal head. And yeah, we have inspected the phasmid, so now we will check up on the deserter. Right. But hang on a second, we did get like another item, which is, I believe, right, the scope. A common 30mm sniper scope attachable to almost any bolt action 4.46 caliber. It uses an older style non-dotted range-finding reticle. Seaweed is still stuck on the lens and it suffered water damage. Okay. But we have a scope, so we can be certain that he used the sniper rifle and the scope to shoot Laylee. Now let's see what's going on with him.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
I mean, we already told you, we want to arrest you.
Something is very wrong with him now.
Okay, but what is it? Sir, how could you not see the phasmid? I'll leave you be for now. Yeah, how could you not see it? It is well hidden, but if it has been here for quite some time, and he has been here for quite some time, then at some point he probably should have noticed it.
See.
He stares at the reeds and falls silent. I mean, maybe he did see it, but he just couldn't believe it, or his mind couldn't process what it was seeing. I guess that is a possibility.
Mr. Dras?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. His gap-toothed mouth shaking.
Snap your fingers under his nose. Wave your hand in front of his eyes. Touch his shoulder gently. I don't know. Let's wave the hand.
A light shiver passes him, followed by nothing. His hands are trembling, and he breathes slowly.
Yeah, he doesn't seem very responsive.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Dras?
So you suggest we just leave him here because he's not going to be able to move? Maybe he's just faking it to make us think that he can't move, and then he will try to escape when we're gone.
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
Okay, so apparently Kim thinks it's safe to leave him here. Well, I guess I will trust your judgment. What has happened to this man? We found some things in the phasmid's nest, Mr. Ross. Yeah, what has happened to him?
Old age and shock.
I think it's the phasmid, old age and shock. Yeah, maybe it is the phasmid. Although I guess that could also result in shock, seeing a giant insect next to you.
Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you?
Maybe? Maybe the phasmid has been talking to him as well.
There's much more. Remember what it said when it spoke?
Well, I mean, it said quite a bit.
Quite a few things about that health check you did on him make sense now.
He couldn't see it, Kim. It's just the reads for him. Before, when I evaluated his state, he seemed strangely animated. Right. Could it be there's something hormonal in his relationship to the phasmid? I don't know about that. I talked to the phasmid. It said it's destroying him. Right. That it did say. He's been here for a long time. Who knows how much of it in its company. Yeah, he seemed strangely animated.
He was energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect worse.
So perhaps this animation is induced by something in the phasmid. And now that the phasmid is gone, the animation is gone as well.
It does not seem to be animated now it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive.
Well, that would also explain why it was talking to me.
I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall.
He takes off his glasses and cleans them. When he puts them back on, he's still staring at the sea. Yeah, I talked to the phasmid. It said it's destroying him.
You should be more careful, detective. Are you sure it wasn't having an effect on you?
I wouldn't rule it out, to be honest. Maybe, anyway, it's only trying to remain unseen. The degradation is a side effect. I mean, that would actually make a lot of sense. It's kinda, causing delusions in people nearby as a means to hide or remain unseen. Interesting theory, Harry. No way, I was only talking to it. Yeah, but I mean, usually giant insects don't talk. And Kim didn't hear it, so this seems probably more likely.
A valid hunch. Long-term exposure to something like that could be neurodegenerative. Also, please be careful when approaching unknown species in the future, detective.
I mean, you kinda approached it as well, so there's that. Yeah, so there might be something hormonal in this relationship.
You mean pheromonal?
Right. He seemed a little off for a man his age, Randy. Randy? No, forget it. Inspect the man. I don't know. What do you mean by that?
The scope, knowing of her bruises, his disposition toward Miss Orania. I see what you mean.
Okay, but apparently Kim does at least not disagree with me. Yeah, he couldn't see it. It is just reads for him.
That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Dross.
He touches the man's shoulder.
No response.
Maybe this is how the phasmid has stayed hidden all these years. Yep, that would be the theory.
Then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it.
Exactly. If you are near the phasmid for too much time, it's causing some kind of delusional state. Yes, you forget it's there. Fascinating.
Mr. Dross, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the reeds?
The old man stutters.
The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse.
Okay, so maybe we should take him to my station. I'm not sure what kind of medical personnel we have, but I guess we need to give it a try. I guess we did actually talk to the medical personnel at Harry's station. It was the guy whose name I forgot, but he had a Gottwaldian name. So I guess that would be him. Anyway, he's been here for a long time. Who knows how much of it in its company, right?
He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him. Like he didn't want to leave this place. And the insect, maybe.
He looks at his notebook.
I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
Yep, that was a good call.
No one would believe you without it.
Right. And yes, we found some things in the phasmid's nest, Mr. Dross.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should.
Maybe show him the ceramic helmet?
Nothing. Just dull staring. Not even rage left, wherever he is.
I mean, I'm not even sure how the helmet got here. Did he, like, steal it from the dead body as, like, a trophy?
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he
Right.
did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. That was so long ago. But yeah, Kuno kicked it into the sea. So let's show him the detached scope.
I lost.
Yes, you lost it, right?
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie phasmid.
The lieutenant observes the land sparkle in your hand. I mean, it's possible.
This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. Not even a sigh.
I mean, it probably was attached to the rifle, otherwise he would not have been able to make that kind of shot, right? Anyway, I'm going to let you rest now, Mr. Dross. And someone will come for you and arrest you soon, I suppose.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open.
Yeah, there isn't really much left of a person to arrest, but I guess we gotta do it.
The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal. The strength has all gone out of him. Just frail old bones in a sack of tracksuit trousers and a windbreaker.
That's actually kinda sad. Anyway, hang tight.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here. If we don't take too long.
Okay, well, back to the mainland it is. The return. Use the boat to return to mainland. Right. Let's make sure there's nothing else on here that I missed. Nope. So we have to get back into the bunker first, right? I think it's over here. Right. And now yeah, we came through this door, so we have to go all the way around here, I suppose. Okay, I don't think I need to inspect any of these items again. Let's just head straight for the boat. Oh, what is that?
ICM? This feels familiar somehow.
Where does this come from now? Kim, what is the ICM? RCM, it sounds like RCM, Reversal Citizens Militia. A white star. Point to the star on the label. What label? Are those spec stars too? Looks old. What it's still doing here. I'm not exactly sure what he's talking about, but whatever. Kim, what is the ICM?
Insulindian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army. The black and white army of the revolution.
Right, I'm pretty sure I have heard that before.
Sounds an awful lot like.
Sounds an awful lot like RCM.
It does.
Why?
The RCM may descend from the ICM.
Okay, may?
It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and criminals.
Okay.
Nice political thoughts rush through your neocortex.
do they now?
A mediocre athlete would pant from dragging around his body on a busted crutch. But not you. You're thinking about politics, with blood dripping down your thigh.
Yep, that's me, all right. What I'm hearing is we descend from the glorious Revolutionary Army. It's a little embarrassing in 51, no? Maybe we need a rebrand. ICM sounds like ICP, very close to the International Collaboration Police. Nice and normal that way. Just catch your breath. Well, I don't know. I guess I have to lean into my communism a bit more, so I'm going to pick the first one.
There were all sorts of groups and groupuscules back then. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it probably doesn't. Yes, a white star, which is the symbol of, like, the revolutionaries, right?
No, an upside-down star.
Are you going to be nitpicky now?
With its horns in the sky, the symbol of the commune.
Right, exactly. And are those Specs stars too?
No, that's the uninhabited archipelago.
Okay.
A DeLorean-era symbol of Insulinda, known as the face in the sea.
Okay, and it looks old. What it's still doing here? Whatever he's talking about.
After 44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Gefreiter.
Well, I guess so.
One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this. Old bullets, guns, fuel.
Okay, let's finish the thought. I mean, I guess he was talking about the bunker as a whole. It's just weird that he suddenly has that thought now and not when we came here for the first time. But whatever, back to the boat it is. It's starting to get dark. So let's make sure we arrive before it's too dark.
The skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock.
Also, I feel there would be enough space for a third person, but what do I know? Let's return to the mainland. And are we going to play Sad FM again?
Let's. We are done here.
He says, adjusting his glasses as he looks out over the water.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet.
Okay, apparently no Sad FM this time.
But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you.
Oh, really?
2 men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a nameless village, looking at a small yellow boat as it draws closer. The sea is calm.
Well, who could that be?
You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Okay. Well, let's look around. It seems that Lillian is not here anymore, so we can't talk to her again. Alright, but someone else is over here. Harry, we're here because we're worried. I don't know what I'm even doing here.
Look what the tide brought him.
Oh, well, I could say the same to you. So, this is one of the police guys who's set in the whirling, right? Except he's not wearing his stupid wig anymore. So I suppose that this is the woman, Judith, Jean, and there's someone else standing here that I can't properly see, so no idea about him.
I want to call you a teapot, but I'm honestly kind of impressed. No idea where you got all that gear, but there's no doubt in my mind that some bad people are looking for it.
Are you talking about my armor? I believe all the bad people are dead. I shot them and Kim shot them, so it's going to be fine.
Also, you look like a fucking idiot.
What do you mean? I think my style has improved quite a bit.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen.
That is also very true.
This is the man with sunglasses from the Whirling in Rags. But where are his sunglasses?
I mean, it's night, so he doesn't need sunglasses. But he has been wearing the sunglasses, presumably because he didn't want to be recognized. So now apparently he has given up his disguise. Wait, you're the man with sunglasses? Forget about all this, there's a giant... The armor? No one else seems bothered by it. Nope. Who are you people? I mean, I have a pretty good idea who these people are. Jean, Judith, and someone else. But yeah, you're the man with the sunglasses.
That's right. And you're some kind of murder machine.
Murder machine? Why would you say that? Yeah, I don't know what's your problem with that armor.
Oh, really? They don't seem bothered by it? That's because you're a cop in an exoskeleton.
Yep, I'm a cop in a goddamn exoskeleton.
Actually, are you? Are you still a cop? There's so much disco going on, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I'm still very disco as well. I'm actually a superstar, but how would you know? Okay, let's
Vic,
continue.
calm down.
Okay, yeah, it is the woman that we talked to before. Do we want to tell him about the phasmid? Honestly, why even bother? So, I guess I'm going to ask them who they are, even though I kinda know who they are.
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstein. I believe
Oh.
we've met on several occasions.
Yes, we have met. You were the guy standing in front of the Felt building with a little kid. Also, I think that's actually another name that came up in like a very random thought that I had when Ruby was talking about like the death squad, like the other policemen that came with Harry to Revershall. And I was wondering, okay, I can identify two of them, Jean and Judith, but I couldn't identify the third person. So, are you telling me that you're also a policeman, or what is going on here?
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean Vicomar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it.
Okay, so you are the task force that came with me to Revershall. Huh.
Special Consultant Trond Heidelstam, Battle Officer Judith Minot.
Okay, so, why didn't you tell me that you're with the police? Seriously.
Hi.
Hi indeed.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
I'm doing fine, thank you very much.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Precinct 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us.
Right.
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
What have I done? Come on.
We might need your help with something later.
Yes, it's actually quite convenient that you are here, because we need to arrest someone on the island, because we actually solved the case.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
He is. He's not a naughty boy.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Way to feed me to the wolves. No, Kim, you've gotta have my back. Let's destroy them. I'm not sure what Kim is supposed to do about all of this. So, yeah, sure, let's resolve this issue, whatever the issue is.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
She says warmly, flashing the lieutenant a tiniest of smiles.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
What shitstorm? What have I done? I mean, except the usual, the stuff that Harry seems to be doing all this time. Okay, so what is this about?
Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
Okay.
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science.
Uh-huh.
My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
Neurology in air quotes.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
Are you talking to me?
What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullets.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a good point. We had to, stop this conflict and kill the mercenaries while you were doing what? Watching? Leaving? Drinking? I have no idea what they've been doing at that time.
Shit, kid. What an interesting moniker.
What's a shit kid? How did you know I was here? You aren't the man with sunglasses at all. You're not even blonde. It was a wig, Harry. You never told me you're not the horse-faced woman? Pointed to her. So Trent Hiddleston turns out to be special consultant Trent Hiddleston. Yep. So apparently these are the three police officers that Ruby was talking about, and from what I can gather, they arrived here together with Harry, but then Harry got drunk, forgot who he was, and they just decided to stick around and watch him. That's what I have reconstructed so far. Duped again, no one's who they say they are. You mentioned the task force. Where have you been all this time? There was a mercenary tribunal, right? So what do you mean, shit kid?
You. Shit kid. That's you.
Of course.
Despite all that you've done, the deserter, the phasmid, the case.
Yes, I would like to think that I've done a lot.
No, because of all that you've done.
Well, could you clarify that a little bit? How do you even know I was here?
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
What do you mean I fucked him over? He was so nice to me the last time we spoke. After all that Sylvie stuff, he betrays me. I saved his establishment and still he betrays me. Turn to face the general direction of the whirling and yell, "Damn you, cafeteria manager, you've betrayed me for the last time." Yeah, I don't know. After I saved his establishment, I guess I expected a bit more.
Strange. He didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look saved at all. There was a giant aerograffito in front of the building. It was on fire.
The fire should have been gone already by that time. Yeah, it was his one junior delinquent.
I don't know. It had shit kid written all over it.
I don't know. It was a little bit too artsy for Harry, maybe. So, yeah, I mean, I know that he's not blonde. It was clearly a wig, so that's kind of a pointless option. But yeah, you are actually special consultant, Trent Hiddleston.
Yes, I'm Trent Hiddleston. I never said I wasn't Trent Hiddleston.
That's true, but you also didn't tell me that you're with the police. And, yeah, what was up with that kid?
Mikhail? Mikhail's my son.
So he is actually your son. Do you always take your son with you on police investigations? Oh yeah, what's up with all the interesting history? Spying on me? Yeah, that's probably what you've been doing, huh?
No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinez beachhead. And Mikhail wanted to see Martinez. It was a coincidence.
So what are you special consulting here? Okay, you're Trent Hiddleston, special consultant, I get it. Yeah, what exactly are you special consulting?
What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s. Like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He is smart. Let's move on.
Well, I'm a little bit insane, but it sometimes helps me, as a matter of fact. Duped again, no one's who they say they are. I mean, I barely remembered who they were, so it was kinda easy to dupe me, to be fair. Yeah, you mentioned a task force.
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells?
Refresh my memory, who else is in this? Yeah, totally, I get it, Major Crimes Unit. Yeah, is there anyone else in this task force?
Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Trent fucking Hiddleston, and Guillaume baby.
Okay, so 4 of them are here at the moment. Harry, Judith, Jean, and Trent. No idea about Guillaume Bevy.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
He really doesn't want to have any part of this, right? He just wants to be gone.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show.
But he won't let him go. Yeah, tell me more. Who's Guillaume Bevy?
Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit.
Oh, I was actually the leader of that unit. Interesting.
Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Trump because I'm forcing him to stay.
Obviously. So why are you still here?
Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde and partial to sunglasses?
I mean, that would be his disguise. Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde with sunglasses like you were, maybe?
See? There. He's getting it. I was impersonating him.
Oh.
Look at me, I'm G. Bevy. It was going to be funny, but then you really did have brain damage. So not so much anymore.
But, I mean, come on. If Harry didn't have brain damage, clearly he would have recognized you even with that disguise. He wouldn't have mistaken you for this Guillaume Bevy, right? So that was just a stupid plan. Anyway, so what exactly does this unit do?
It's a major crimes unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
Really?
The 41st isn't...
He trails off, not wishing to finish the sentence. Why? Why don't you want to finish the sentence? Yeah, I don't really feel like using these options, but I would like to know where you were during the tribunal.
God damn it, Harry.
He shifts his weight, crosses his arms, and looks you in the eye.
You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn. Detect or die.
Yeah, that does kinda sound like Harry. As a matter of fact, I seem to remember that he told Kim that he's cramping his style as well. But I mean, Kim didn't turn into a sourpuss and just left me alone because of that. So, there's that. Wait, so you let me face a squad of trained killers alone just to teach me a lesson? All will burn, Satellite Officer Wigmar. Make no mistake about it. Why didn't you detect and die there, or die then? Why would you leave a literal police guard? I said all those things, I'm not like that anymore. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, so you left me alone to teach me a lesson. And you just sat at the sidelines watching me.
It wasn't like that.
Really? So what was it like?
Fuck you, Harry. We didn't know there was gonna be a tribunal, did we?
I mean, maybe not at the beginning, but after a while it became pretty obvious, so at that point you could have, jumped off the bench and joined me again, but you didn't. All will burn, Satellite Officer Wigmar, make no mistake about it. Yeah, why didn't you detect or die?
Oh, you think it was cool you saying that? Aesthetic somehow? You were crying when we got here. Breaking things. You said we were going into the abyss.
Again, that does kind of sound like Harry. At least the apocalyptic version of him.
None of us wanted to see the abyss. So we fucked off. Like you told us to.
Okay, so basically after his drunken rage, he just pissed them off so much that they decided not to help him. Okay, well, I mean, none of this is ringing any bells, although I did, reconstruct at least parts of these events already.
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage.
Right.
Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors. He talks without slurring. He can drive a boat.
He can
He's
drive a boat.
standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia. Episodic and semantic.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola, pound, and so on.
Yeah, but I have been starting to recover quite a bit of it. And I have Encyclopedia, who still remembered a large amount of useless trivia, so you have to take that into account as well.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Again, snitch in air quotes, he says, while totally being a snitch.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
Wait, socioeconomically, you think I'm so poor I lost my memory? I kind of doubt it. Also, I'm not that poor anymore, so that shouldn't be a reason anymore. I drank so much I lost my memory, and now I'm slowly recovering it. Yeah, I mean, it's very mundane and very sad, but that's basically what happened. I made it all up. It was a fantasy, a stupid joke. I know what I am. It might have something to do with an anomaly in the church, a 2mm hole in the world. They are not going to believe that. I'm a highly experimental detective. This was a method I used to solve the case. Probably not. Something so sad happened to me that I couldn't be me anymore. It was a defense mechanism. I mean, that sounds somewhat more likely, but honestly, I think it was just the most mundane explanation. I just drank so much I lost my memory.
He is. He's getting better. And I can confirm that he drank a lot of alcohol prior to it happening.
I believe he drank. People do that, especially this one. What they don't do is forget their whole life because of drinking.
How do you know?
But Detective Wigmare, he has blanked out before.
Have I?
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case. The other when we looked into that mural.
Two drunks case, okay.
So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful.
That is kind of beautiful, I suppose.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean? You think I practiced having like blackouts? I don't think that's how it works.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here.
He gestures towards the scenery.
Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input.
I'm not quite sure if I'm following you, but hey, you're the one who dabbled in quote-unquote neurology.
Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for its end.
Hardwired to the free market, okay.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
I mean, you wanted Trant to be here, so now you can't complain about his opinion.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
Well, thank you. I'm ready to lead again. Line detective is good for now. He's wrong. I am too far gone for work. Fuck all of you. I don't want to be in your unit. What now? I mean, being a detective is all he has done for the past, I don't know how many years, so I think he would like to continue to do that, especially since he's apparently pretty good at it. And technically, I have been leading this case the entire time, so I think I'm ready to lead again.
No one even mentioned that. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension?
I don't think so.
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here.
What? Really?
No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
Well, I was hoping you wouldn't ask for the carriage. Hold on, in the ocean, feign ignorance. It was stolen by Jacob Earth, whoever that is. That wasn't me, it was stolen by traffic hooligans. I drove it into the ocean when I was drunk. I thought the killer would be underwater. He wasn't. The time had come, tequila sunset. I don't know what it's doing there. Yeah, again, I'm afraid it's the most mundane and saddest of all the options. I drove it into the ocean when I was drunk. Simple as that.
Ah, so refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of everyone's payslip.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
Well, as it happens, I have my badge again. Wait, my badge? I got my badge right here. I lost it. I haven't found it yet. Lie. What I do have is this futuristic armor. He doesn't care. Let's just be smug and show him the badge.
He squints at it, suspiciously, trying to ascertain if it's not a blue candy wrapper or a piece of vinyl.
It's not.
Okay. And your gun?
I have my gun as well.
What is it with all these material objects?
Gun. Just repeat gun. Wait, how did you know I lost my gun? Right, I didn't even report that I lost my gun. After I got so much crap for losing my badge, I was afraid to report my gun missing. But maybe he heard it after all. My gun is right here. Show him the Villiers 9mm. I upgraded my gun to a rifle. Gun, badge, car, these are all things. Things don't matter, people do. No, again, let's be smug and show him the gun, which is the 9mm.
He has it. I thought it was in the ocean. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone.
Don't worry, there's no bullet inside it. I didn't lose my gun, I have my gun. Show him the gun, right. I mean, I did lose it, but he doesn't know that. So it doesn't even matter that I found my gun. I'm not drunk, I haven't started drinking again. I have, not a lot, but I have been drinking, I don't know, 2 or 3 times during this game, maybe. So what? I've had a little drink. I tried not to, but I can't work as well without it. Yeah, I'm drunk. I'm also on drugs. Yeah, what's your problem? I have my gun.
We're not talking about the fucking gun anymore. We're talking about the vaporized cloud of ethanol coming from your mouth.
Okay, apparently he actually can smell the alcohol, even though my last drink has been quite some time ago.
This is so unfair. He knows you have the gun and still is punishing you.
Yeah, he doesn't care. Yeah, so what? I've had a little drink.
A little drink? You smell like a corpse. I'm downwind and I can barely breathe. You smell like shit.
Maybe that's just how he always smells, because like I said, my last drink has been a few days ago at this point.
You let a suspect escape, Harry. Glacier is something. Because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
Nope, I assessed the possibility that she was actually the killer, and I came to the conclusion that she's not, so I didn't arrest her.
We've read the reports. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
Glacier, she was some kind of spy from the Occident, specially trained. Not taking her in was the right thing to do. She gave a vital clue that led us to the island. She did. I mean, we would have found it without her, because we had already calculated the location. And that's not why we let her go. We let her go because I felt there wasn't enough evidence to arrest her. Okay, I got duped there. She pulled one on me. Yes, I let her go as an act of mercy. That's just a small detail in a huge case you know nothing about. That's true. That doesn't matter, none of it does. We are looking at the oxygen holocaust times a quadrillion. I have come to know the final fate of man and the universe. Yeah, let's maybe not get into these philosophical topics. They won't understand. Yeah, it's a small detail in a huge case that you know nothing about.
Sure, if it's part of your master plan. Let's not even get into the other suspect who also escaped. Another detail?
Well, if you're talking about Ruby again, she didn't do it.
Or the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote.
Yeah, I don't think that's illegal, so what is your problem?
Compared to the 6 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
And it would have been a lot more if we hadn't intervened.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals.
Thank you for having my back, Kim.
He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
Exactly. Yes, what he said. I also solved the case. It solved all of it. Right. Yeah, it was a massacre. We got wiped. Where the hell were you? The firefight is a trivial matter compared to the greatest discovery of the century. I'm just sorry. I mean, these are all good replies. But yeah, maybe we should finally tell them that we did solve the case.
Detective, it's better if I do that.
Okay, if you say so.
It's so much better if he does this. 1,000,000 times better.
Alright, alright.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
He brushes a stray strand of hair out of his eye and coughs. Yeah, apparently Kim actually made some impression on him.
He thinks of apologizing, but decides against it.
Good work, Kim.
You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
Okay, well, now I'm curious.
Well, the drinking, the lost gun, also losing his badge, that's all true. And he's been drinking on the job.
Come on, Kim. I didn't tell him that I lost my gun. You didn't need to read that little detail out.
The man sighs deeply.
Then there's the superstardom. He likes to, from time to time, allude to being a superstar law official. At first I thought it was a joke, but now I'm not so sure. He says disco about 20 times a day.
And what is wrong with that? Come on.
It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He's even gotten involved in a highly theoretical underground reading group, which, again, for a police officer, is unusual.
I guess so.
You should yell something.
I'm a policeman of the state to come. Yeah, I don't know, maybe that's not a good idea.
Yes, let's let the big boys talk.
I mean, I want to hear what kind of case Kim is making for me, so let's not interrupt him.
Other still, he is also an ultra-liberal hustler who is always on the grind. How he reconciles these 2 points of view, I do not know. But he is vocal about both of them.
I mean, barely. Barely. What are my final stats? Yeah, it's 22 communist, but only 8 ultra-liberal. It's interesting, though, that he mentions my communism and, you know, the ultra-liberal part, but not the moralism. I guess that's because being a moralist is kind of expected, and no one would bat an eye at the fact that I'm like the most moralist of moralists. So that's why he doesn't mention that. But yeah, I guess I'm a bit of an ultra-liberal.
And then there's the motor carriage in the sea. And the drugs, of course. Amphetamine, mostly. But despite all this, he is a great detective. One of the best I have seen, in fact.
Well, thank you. But again, you didn't have to tell them about the speed, especially since I only took it like once. And only because I wanted to dance in the club.
He can talk human beings into telling him everything. And he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven.
That is true.
Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Vicmar, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Okay, you're making me blush.
Okay, he did something.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation.
Right.
He apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
Right, I have.
A new species?
A very rare one at that.
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as a reed. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows, flapping the glossy rectangle in his hand.
It's really a good thing that you took that photo, Kim, because they wouldn't believe us otherwise.
You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Hosiana, boom shakalaka motherfucker. So, as you can see, I'm a pretty okay detective and an absolutely giant communist. Say nothing. Yeah, apparently that's what I am.
Fucking hell. Is this somehow connected to the case?
I mean, only in the most remote sense, because the phasmid had some of the items and may have influenced our perpetrator.
Detective?
Boom, boom, boom. Yes, I believe the pheromone it emits may be responsible for the killer's mental degradation. Exactly.
The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
And Jean doesn't know what to say.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
His tired eyes follow the photo as the lieutenant puts it away. Yes, you can't fire me because I'm a can opener and a case solver.
Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now
Okay.
or never.
Okay, let's see. I also started a nightclub in the church. Also, the phasmid was female. The reeds are its nest. The killer, Lilianovic Dos, we have a strong motive for him. The previous head of the Debardeurs Union was assassinated by our killer. Right, I feel that is an important little detail, because I kinda solved 2 cases. And I also fixed the strike situation. Right. There was also a dead man on the boardwalk, a missing person I found. I also looked into the mystery of the doomed commercial area. I confiscated drugs from Kuno's dad. So what do you say? Want to take this hot shit back? Okay, I feel the most impressive item is the fact that we found another, well, not another killer, but solved another murder.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open, in Martinez, where Evrard and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere.
The lieutenant lowers his voice just a little. Okay, that's actually a good point.
And eyes, too. Your return from the island must not have gone unnoticed.
Understood, of course.
But a case against Everard would be big.
Would be big.
I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related, for political neutrality.
This has to be good stuff for him to backpedal out of it at first mention.
So I guess I, have a motive for our killer.
Lilianovic. A revolutionary matronym.
A revolutionary matronym. Yeah, apparently he's named after his mother. So Liliana and then son of Liliana. I don't have time for this. Straight to the motive, please. Yeah, sure. Let's discuss the revolutionary matronym.
The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Larsovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead.
Makes sense to me.
This man's mother was Lilian. His Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed. but not before it made it to Revachol.
Right.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
I think so.
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him.
He killed the mercenary in an act of jealousy. He killed the mercenary hoping to start a war between the company and the Union. He killed him in an act of rage induced by the phasmid's semiochemicals. Actually, I'm not sure if I have a motive. I had another thing. I mean, it's probably a little bit of this, of all of this. But I guess the prime motive we extracted was jealousy, sort of.
Jealousy? I thought this Lilianovich was an old man. To have been hiding for 50 years. Like 70-something.
A strange psychosexual fixation, aggravated possibly by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He himself gave a political reason, said he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead mercenary's head, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
Indeed.
It's a clean win.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that.
It's more than that. A perfect folding mechanism, like a phasmid. It's way more than that. It will win me Dora back. No, it won't. It's my masterpiece. They'll teach this in cop school. I did all I could. Every second was a struggle. I'm still not completely satisfied with it. It could be just a little neater. No, I think it's pretty well folded. Like a phasmid.
Perfect folding mechanism. Get over yourself, Harry. I can still smell the booze on the wind.
It doesn't matter. I still solved the case, and you didn't.
God damn it. It is bad. Even you can smell it. Chin up. Keep focusing on the positives here.
Well, let's see. Sure, let's talk about the strike situation.
How? It seems to be ongoing. I see red banners on the gates.
Yeah, but they're not striking anymore.
He didn't quite solve it. He cross-pollinated information between the company rep and Evrard, until the rep came to see that the Union desires war, at which point Mrs. Messier decided to...
He shrugs.
What? Hand clear the terminal?
It was an accident. I did it for the world revolution. I just told some people some things. No big deal. Things are common now. I masterminded a solution to an unsolvable problem. Sort of.
Sounds like you got played, Harry. Because you were off your tits on Al Ghul.
Maybe. Hey, how do you know about Al Ghul? That's a good question.
It doesn't matter how I know about Al Ghul. What matters is, you're Everard Clare's peony now. Just as I said. He's a mob boss, did you know?
Yeah, I kinda noticed.
Is that why you want us to investigate the assassination of the previous Union head thing? To get off Everard's hook?
No, it would be quite the opposite, because he would be responsible for it. But whatever.
No, it's nothing like that. He was reckless with information, but ethical. We don't owe anyone anything. This allowed us to stabilize things in Martinez.
Thank you, Kim.
God, calm down, Jean.
Yeah, this guy just cannot be satisfied.
Silence. Good. The man doesn't know what to say.
Well, let's talk about the dead man on the boardwalk.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
How did you know I found him?
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
But I seem to be the only cop in the work that's actually working any cases at the moment.
Still, good work with the missing person, Detective.
Thank you.
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's talk about the nightclub. Why not?
What was that? It sounded like you set up a nightclub in the church.
Yeah, I reinvigorated the local nightlife. Yeah, I did some kids a solid, turned their lives around. Yeah, and I discovered a hitherto unexplored extraponetical phenomenon in their 2 millimeter hole in the world. Yeah, they don't care about that. Let's just say I reinvigorated the local nightlife.
4 kids were living in a tent on the ice. They were going to drown when it melted. It's not optimal, but the building was abandoned, so he put them in there. It's okay.
I mean, that's also a way to look at it.
It's not that okay. Get off this subject now.
So what about the doomed commercial area?
I don't know what a doomed commercial area is.
Rue de Saint-Gilles, Lane 10, a commercial building where all business go bankrupt. I looked into it. The curse turned out to be possibly anthroponetical, part of a larger investigation into Martinique itself. Nothing is that important. Yeah, maybe I should actually mention the anthroponetical thing at some point.
I'm 100% sure it didn't turn out to be that. You know, get the amateur anthroponetic 2mm hole shit. This isn't Paradox B. We're a police force.
I haven't even mentioned the 2mm hole in the world yet, and Abani, you already know about it. Okay, whatever.
Paradox B is a fringe science magazine published in Grad. Its mission is to explain theories like telekinesis and intra-isolary power before they get out of hand.
Alright, thank you, Encyclopedia.
It doesn't look like the lieutenant wishes you to push this angle further.
Alright.
Cut it out is indeed what he is thinking.
Okay, do we want to talk about the phasmid?
Female? What makes you think so?
Yeah, about that.
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior too, I think.
I think Kim wants to prevent Harry from talking about the fact that the phasmid has been talking to him. That's what's going on here, right?
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
No, because the phasmid is actually just cloning itself.
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
It had gathered items in its nest, a helmet and a scope, right.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates.
But they do not need mates.
Bowers are built by males of the species who can't afford colorful mating displays physically. This one was plain colored.
Yeah, I still think it was female. I mean, of course, if it's cloning itself, you could say it doesn't actually have any kind of sex. It's neither male or female, right? Or it is one of those, but it doesn't matter.
Of course, as I said, I'm only guessing. I didn't see it. It must be robust if it can move a whole helmet with its limbs.
That's true. That helmet would have been quite heavy for it.
It could maybe roll it, like a dung beetle.
Right. Anyway, I think it reproduces by parthenogenesis.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so?
Oh, just a hunch.
Well, then it wouldn't matter if it's a male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenetic mutation.
Okay, if you say so.
That makes sense, yes.
Yeah, I guess that would be true, as I said.
Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here.
Well, good point.
In his mind, he's already planning a nature reserve and knows a good guy for that.
Also, it had mandibles that looked like hair and it was completely white on the inside.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Really?
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
It is. It is.
Without it,
You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still.
But still?
Quit while you're ahead? Or no?
Well, I don't know. Let's talk about the drugs I confiscated as well.
Who's Kuno?
Just some street kid.
You don't want to know.
You're right, Lieutenant. I don't. You snorted the drugs, I know you did. It's alright. I'm in. At this point, anything is but the drink.
Okay. Apparently, that didn't impress them at all. But yeah, what do you say? Wanna take this hot shit back? Point to yourself.
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder.
He shrugs. So basically, you have to take me back.
So I have to. Jude,
Honestly, anything that ends this trial is okay with me.
A quick nod.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
Okay, we wouldn't let that potential go to waste.
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Let's go.
Now you will finally get to know who you are.
Okay, wait, I have a few questions before we go about who I am.
The man looks westward, impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who am I? Why am I like this? Okay, I'm a dirty cop working for La Puta Madre. Precinct 41, what kind of station is it? The first minute I need to tell Lena about this ASAP. Oh yeah, I should. Lieutenant Kitsuragi, what will you do now? Okay, so who am I?
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry.
What?
Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
But before?
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron.
Oh,
It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
I didn't know that. That does explain a lot, does it? No way, I was a rock and roll singer, a guerrilla soldier gym teacher. Yeah, you sure I wasn't a rock and roll singer?
You haven't told us about that. You just told us about being a gym teacher.
Well, apparently it explains a lot.
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair.
The collection of fun sportswear I've amassed, although I haven't wearing a lot of it.
The fact that you don't seem to know what homosexuality is, and your moves on the church floor, which honestly were just jump aerobics.
Okay, well, now that you put it like that, I guess it does explain a lot.
Also, this guy. Just everything about this guy.
You mean physical instrument? I mean, not my best skill, though.
And this guy, too. God, even this javelin throwing freak here.
Yeah, hand-eye coordination is actually pretty good. Contact mic, right.
Of course. Contact Mike.
He's been on about Mike again. I hate that guy.
Okay, apparently I have been talking about Contact Mike before. Contact Mike is a reprise of the most inspiring basic sporting principle of open competition. A 5,000 to 1 rank outsider. When was this? When was I a gym teacher? You said in Coron I was a gym teacher there. Why did I join the RCM then? Yeah, when was I a gym teacher?
In your 20s or late 20s. You've really let yourself go since then.
That is true. And I was in Coron.
Yes, you taught gym in Coron. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
Right.
The smell of sweat and glue. The worn floorboards. Coron is just east of Jamrod. It was a short walk every morning to the baseball field or the sports building.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Acel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
Okay, well, okay. That makes sense. And why did I join the RCM?
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
So because of Dora.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
Well, I mean, that's an interesting new revelation. I see.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
Okay, but why am I like this?
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you're a drunk.
Okay, fair enough.
You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage.
And I guess her name was Dora.
Yeah, Dora England, I think.
Okay.
Not Dora Dubois.
Well, we weren't married. We already heard about that. It was just an ex-fiancé.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol.
Okay, and when was this?
God, I don't know. 6 years ago? She was way before my time.
Okay, so not 20 years, but still quite a bit of time.
6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you?
6 years. Oh, okay, 6 years is not that much. It couldn't have been 6. 3. Let's go with 3. Yes.
No, it was 6. Like, ancient. It's a old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That, and Dora England really tore you a new one. A big one.
And who was she?
Incredibly bangable.
Figures, I guess.
Extremely fuckable, Harry. Gorgeous. A gorgeous bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically.
Snow Welkin. Blonde Welkin.
How do you even know if it was before your time?
Heartbreak Welkin.
I mean, it sounds like you had a pretty good look at her.
Pain Welkin.
Stop it.
I've only seen a picture.
Okay.
But it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Yeah, so it would seem.
Look, the sun is going down. It's time to go on.
Yeah, I agree, and it would be time to end the episode, but, you know, at this point I'm just going to continue until I'm done with this, and it's going to be like the episode of episodes that's going to be like super long.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. I get my point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that.
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
Okay, so can you tell me if I'm working for La Puta Madre?
No.
No, because a suspect seemed to think so. Yeah, that was weird.
You're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you.
Okay, I mean, that's actually good to know that I am not a dirty cop, probably.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
Alright.
He would immediately backpedal out of it. I told you it's not that bad.
Alright. And yeah, tell me about Precinct 41.
Us? We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? We're the bad guys. No one likes us.
Okay.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You are just understaffed. And everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Well, thank you, Kim.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
He tilts his head northward, yes?
Get back to it. We left Torsen and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good.
Who is Torsen and McLean?
Mac the Torso Torsen and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is.
Yeah, we should return as soon as possible.
They are damn iconic though, Torsen and McLean.
An iconic duo?
Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We are garbage.
And the Sea Wing is what?
God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
Why?
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
Okay.
He's anything but a loser, although he would like to be seen as one. It's cooler that way.
And Price is?
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
Okay.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
So we're not like the loser station.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him coffee. It's silent in the captain's office. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May.
Did we recently shoot up a church by any chance? Point to the church. Why would you think that? So I work in the bloody murder station. Yeah, apparently.
Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there, hard, every day.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershoal. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only is us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Okay, if you say so.
Thank you again, Lieutenant.
And yeah, I should tell Lena about the phasmid.
Who is Lena?
She lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road in Jamrock, remember?
Right. A cryptozoologist. She lives in Jamrock on Tabernacle Road. She told me about this phasmid.
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
She looks at Vigmare.
Fine, if we're gonna drop you off anyway.
Okay, it's a deal.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the phasmid. It's their discovery, in part.
Right.
They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change.
I agree.
She is going to be over the moon. Watch out or she'll faint.
Okay, and finally, what will you do now, Kim?
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain.
About what?
Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Rivershoal.
He pulls up his collar and looks around, the cold spring light reflected in the lenses of his glasses.
I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
Well, maybe you want to do that at Station 41,
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of 2 captains with my doom-mongering.
No, I meant investigate. Come work in Precinct 41 as my partner.
Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
You have to work with me, that's what I'm talking about.
Would fit in. Am crazy enough. Can take the stress. He doesn't know how to finish the sentence. This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss.
Really?
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
Alright, apparently he wants you on the team as well.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
The lieutenant turns very serious all of a sudden.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
Right.
I do like the sound of that.
Ooh. Recruit Detective Kim Kitsuragi. So apparently he will work with us. I like that.
He's really considering it.
I really like that. Okay, so I think I'm finally ready.
Good.
She looks at you, then Vigmare.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Alright, sounds good to me.
Under the evening sky, the great district turns on its lights. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls inside. Fire traps as far as the eye can see, from Main Street to Precinct 41 atop the motorway, to Boogie Street forking into the dark horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time.
Okay.
Torsen? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmere? Yes. Dubois? Of course.
Of course.
Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list.
Oh, that's the
I hear
doctor.
he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Potomny Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the people. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minnow? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
Yes, I think we should totally do that. And there we go. I guess we are leaving Martinez for now. Are we all going to fit inside that motor carriage? I hope so. Oh, look at that. He's actually helping me. I mean, that's a nice final scene, I suppose. Harry seems to have saved his reputation. He solved the case. And we have some credits. Yep, here we go. Okay, well, this game lasted a lot longer than I expected for a number of reasons. And speaking of which, this episode also lasted a lot longer than I expected. But I mean, there just isn't a good time to make a cut if you can't exit the conversation. So I decided, let's just, go on until we're done. Also, as it happens, I actually recorded the final episode of my other Let's Play, Assassin's Creed, earlier this day, so it's a rather interesting coincidence that I finished both games at the same time. So, there will obviously be one more video, my verdict video, so if you want to hear my opinion on this game, you should check back in 2 days, I guess. And at that point I will also give you a schedule update about my next games. I will take a few days off in between this Let's Play and the next one, so I will give you the detailed information in the next video. But for now I'm just going to let the credits roll for a while, and hopefully you will return for my verdict video. But until then, let's call it a day. As always, thank you for watching, and see you again next time.